Hi, and welcome to the weekly general reading. For those of you who are coming back to watch me, it's really great to see you guys again. And for all of those new people, I hope you really enjoy your reading. So we are looking at the week ahead, and regardless of when this video goes up, when you watch it, it's going to be describing the next 7 days, all right? Okay, so my name is Cassie. I'm the reader behind MomentsAre. I wanted to let you guys know that the next reading that I'm going to be doing is going to post on Wednesday, and it is What Are Their True Feelings? And then on Friday, I'm going to do a weekly general love reading, which is something I haven't done for a while, but I'm going to start back up, okay? So every Friday is going to be a weekly general love reading. So that said, there's not going to be any news at the end because that's the news. All right, anything you need to know about me is in that description. I still have some slots available for this week if you guys want a reading, a private reading. I'm not going to waste any more of your time. Let's go ahead and name the piles, all right? Okay, so pile number 1 is the green butterfly. Pile number 2 is the purple butterfly. Pile number 3 is the pink butterfly. Pile number 4 is the white butterfly. Pile number 5 is the blue butterfly, and pile number 6 is the red butterfly. All right, guys, so I want you to go ahead and choose your pile, and if you have not already, go ahead and pause the video so that you can take your time to do that. Otherwise, we are going to start with pile number 1. Hi, those of you who picked pile number 1, the green butterfly, here is your reading. All right, so we have transformation. Okay, we have the 3 of Pentacles, the Ace of Pentacles, and the Ace of Wands. Oh my goodness, this is really good, okay? Because we've got a couple of new beginnings after a transformation or with a transformation. That's great. Okay, we have the Key and the Tree. Okay, and then we have Fill the Well. I really like this one. I think that it's a nice. Well, I'm going to put this here because it is our advice card, and I want to make sure you guys can see that a little bit better. Alrighty. Okay, so I really like this reading already. This looks really, really positive, you guys. So good job for having a positive week. Like, you can help it, right? Well, according to this, in a way, you can, because we're talking about it's like this week where your mental space is, you know, and I feel like this can represent health. Okay, so I do want to mention that, but it can also represent the mind and the brain. Okay, and I thought that was so cool when I found that out about Lenormand, because trees really do look like little brains, and now that I look around outside and I go on walks and everything, I see trees and I think about brains. So isn't that great? Right? But back to the reading. Okay, so the tree represents health, yes, but it also is representing the mind, okay? And when we have the Key, right here, we get all the answers, okay? We get all the answers, or we get that one thing that's finally going to put that last puzzle piece in so we can step back and look at what the big picture is so that we can get that last piece of information that'll make something make sense, okay? So either you're going to get some kind of key news that is going to explain your health, or for most of you guys, your mind is in a place where you are ready to receive some major answers, and you are going to just be, I feel like you're going to be kind of like a sponge, and you're going to just really it's almost like you're going to absorb information wherever you go, whether you're, you know, physically or just emotionally or mentally, you know, your dreams. I feel like you are really downloading a lot of information right now, okay? This doesn't necessarily have to be like ideas type information. It can be emotional information. It can be spiritual information. But it's just like you are filling up, just like this fill a well, right? So it's like in your mind or in your consciousness, that would be the better word, because, you know, we even have a physical consciousness of, you know, pain and heat and cold and all of that kind of stuff. It's just, I feel like you're getting all of this information, and it's good information. It's key information. It's important information. It's going to unlock a lot of doors for you, a lot of opportunities, yes, but for the most part, it's more like understanding. This information is bringing understanding, okay? So transformation, this is great. This would normally be the death card. I just want to make sure you guys know that. So transformation, what we're talking about is we're talking about that you're going to be going from a point that wasn't as effective for you. Okay, there was something you're doing or that you were doing that was not as effective, and you're getting to a point where you're doing that thing more effectively. Okay, so this transformation, even though this is a major arcana card, and all of that, what I feel is it's wanting us to know is just that something is going to change and you're going to become more efficient at doing it. Okay. Again, it's not giving me information about what area. So I think that for each one of you, it's going to be different. So we've got 2 aces. All right. So that makes sense because if you're going to be changing, you're also going to be bringing in some new things, right? When we transform, like the butterfly here, the butterfly has to let go of its old self as a caterpillar, right? So we have to let go of our old ways in order to change to become something better than what we were before, right? I'm getting... Sorry, I'm getting something else with this. I just got it. You guys some of you guys are going through a big transformation. It's been coming for a while. I don't typically get astrology stuff with this, but that would be those of you who, I cannot believe that I'm getting astrology stuff. I'm just really amazed because I actually don't hardly know anything about astrology. But what I'm getting is that these would be people who are going through a Saturn return, especially, or those of you who are going through something that's like Pluto square Pluto, that kind of thing. And also for those of you who would be around anywhere from about age 41 to 43. I think that has to do with Neptune. Please be nice to me, understanding that I'm not an astrologer. I do. I understand astrology and I can work with it, but I do not claim that art. So I just want to say, for those of you who that affects, just know this transformation's a little bit more, it's got a lot more oomph, and it's been going on for weeks and weeks, and it's like this week is the culmination, okay? So, wow, that's kind of interesting. That's a very, very unique information for me to be getting. But okay, so let's go back to this new stuff, okay? So we've got the Ace of Wands and the Ace of Pentacles, so I'm getting a lot of passion, a lot of fire, okay? So you're going to be feeling, you might feel a little volatile, okay? So just kind of keep that in mind, but I don't feel like it's necessarily for the bad. I feel like that's the appropriate response, because now I'm not getting, I'm not feeling that this is a very angry spread or anything, but if you were to feel some anger this week, it would be anger that starts positive change, okay, inside of your world or in your inner circle or even in your community, okay. Just understand, there's been a lot of positive change that's happened throughout history, and that change has not ever happened without somebody getting angry about something first. So, keep that in mind. But I really feel like the fiery energy is a lot more about creativity, okay? We're talking about becoming inspired, becoming inflamed with our own desire to create something, to make something positive in our life, okay? So that's what I'm getting for the Ace of Wands. And with the Ace of Pentacles, it's almost like it's a perfect unification. Now earth and fire doesn't tend to go together very well, but typically, but I feel like it's a really balancing force here, because we've got fire on the one hand, but then we also have bringing in abundance, and so fire can be a very destructive force, and I just want to say the Pentacles is an earth element, okay? So it's like fire can sometimes destroy, and then the earth, brings forth things. So I feel like there could be some element of transformation going on there even, but I feel like more that it's like new creativity, maybe having to do with bringing in abundance, okay? And I really want to make sure that I'm using that word abundance, because even though we see a coin there, even though in this picture we see somebody at work, we're not necessarily talking about work. We're talking about abundance. We're talking about yes, material gains, yes, maybe some more money, but what we're really talking about is more of something that's positive, that's a positive force in your life. Okay, this Three of Pentacles is just letting me know that you're going to be getting a lot of positive feedback this week too, so that's really great. It'll probably also keep your mind in that real positive place. You know, I'm not getting this from the reading, other than you're going to be in such a good place this week that now would be a really good time to make sure you're taking advantage of all of that creative energy, okay? You know, you can do whatever you want with your week. You know, I'm sure you've got things scheduled and all of that kind of stuff, but you just have you're so there's just such vibrancy in your life right now that I just really feel like this particular week would be really, really great for you to do more than what you typically do, because you're just going to have so much more energy, and you're going to also have that manifestation power here. You're going to be getting new ideas, you're transforming, you're turning into a new person. I just feel like it is a time for you to maybe take on a little bit more, whereas sometimes it feels like it's time to kind of sit back. This is a really active week, okay? So fill the well. Make sure, I've noticed that people sometimes, especially when they've got this kind of energy, sometimes people want to help other people get something done, right? They want to help other people become maybe their actualized self, or are a better version of themselves, right? And so you'll see this when you see other people when you see people helping someone else out, maybe financially, or you know, it's okay to like maybe promote somebody, or to give recommendations for a friend's service because you know your friend's going through some times and you want to help them out and that kind of stuff. You know, I'm not necessarily saying that it you know, things like that. What I'm saying is that there might be an area of your life this week where you might feel more like giving of your own resources to somebody else so they can get to a better place as well. I just want to caution against that, actually, because and I just feel very compelled to just share this quote. It was something I read, I believe, on Twitter. So it was, I mean, I have no idea who said this like originally, or if it even is something that was said originally, like by somebody smart or whatever. But it was, the worst thing you can do for someone else is something that they can do for themselves. And so it's really important to keep that in mind, that yes, you can help your friends or help, you know, maybe it's the person that you've got some feelings for, you know, yes, you can help people out. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm not telling you not to help people. What I'm saying is make sure that you aren't enabling them. Let's put it that way. The other piece of advice that comes from fill the well is just making sure that you're giving that energy to yourself too, making sure that you are giving yourself some self-care. And given the amount of energy that you have, I feel like you're going to naturally be giving yourself some self-care, because I feel like it's just, that's the way that it is, because it's so circular. So kind of keep that in mind. This looks great, really. It looks really, really positive. So I'll go ahead and leave you at that, regardless of what the cards say. I hope you have a wonderful week, and I will see you soon for another reading. Thank you so much for watching. Hi, those of you who picked the purple vial, here is your reading. Yeah, so we've got patience and planning. We have the Six of Wands, we have the Moon, and then we have the King of Pentacles. Okay, so we have the paths, followed by the bouquet, and let go and flow. All right, so one of the first things that I see here is that we have got the King of Pentacles. The King of Pentacles wants to control things, okay? He's kind of like the Emperor, but he's a little less, imposing, okay? But he does want to control things, but he also has a mastery over abundance, okay? And material and that kind of stuff. He has mastery over the material world. So you're going to be feeling like you want to control things, definitely. So the whole let go and flow is really reminding you that it's great to control things. You know, that's one of the things that keeps us like feeling not crazy, basically. But also remember that there are certain things that you can't control, and that's not your job. And hopefully that should be freeing in a way, knowing that it's not your job to control everything. Just control the things that you can. We have patience and planning, whatever it is that you keep waiting to happen, or maybe you're not waiting, but you're expecting something to happen. It's not going to happen this week, but right now it's saying prepare, like just know that this is coming. There's still something that you need to plan for, okay? With the moon energy here, I see that you're going to feel like withdrawing a lot of your own your ideas and your own emotions when you are interacting with other people. And it feels like that's what you're supposed to do. It feels like that is an appropriate way to go. But just know that when you are not contributing to other people gaining more of a knowledge of where you're coming from emotionally and just, you know, what you're thinking, don't expect them to act in a way where they do know. Okay. So on the one hand, if you're feeling like withdrawing, that's great, that's fine. Just also know that they might make assumptions about you, okay? And that's kind of like the price to pay. But here's a good thing about that, is that kind of detachment is going to help you become more observant this week, okay? And I really do feel like that's what's called for, okay? So regardless of whether or not you actually withdraw your feelings and your thoughts from whatever situations you're in, just know that right now it's a really good time to observe. There's some more stuff that you're supposed to observe, and I really think it has to go down to the planning. There's got to be something that you really either hoping is going to happen or you're expecting to happen. What I feel is that this is something imminent, so you should probably know what it is, and it's almost going to happen. This particular card here, and I understand it was the first one that came up. This is ensuring that whatever this is that you think is going to happen, whatever you're focusing on, it is going to happen. Yes, it's going to, and it's going to be successful. It is what's going to happen. It's just that you've got to wait till next week before that manifests for you. But that's okay. You are in control of manifesting and receiving abundance. Understand you are going to get what you need this week. You know, all of your needs are going to be met just fine, and even then some, okay? You're not going to be feeling necessarily scarce, okay? Or you're not going to be feeling like there's a lot of scarcity in your life so much, but you are going to be just kind of like right on the precipice of getting to a point where you've been wanting to get, and that can feel a little frustrating if it's like, well, gosh, I mean, like it feels like it's supposed to happen. I feel like you guys might get to a point where you're questioning, and just know that no, you're right. You're on track. You've just got to kind of let go and understand the world's going to bring that to you when it's time, and that time is going to most likely be next week, not this week. And I mean, I say most likely, it will probably be next week, okay? Some of you guys might start seeing the very beginnings of this change happening on day 6 from the time that you watch this reading, okay? So keep that in mind as well. But I really think it's going to take a full week before you start actually getting that, okay? So the paths and the bouquet in the Lenormand, what we're talking about right now is, it's kind of like, it really is kind of like this particular card right here. You're going to get a gift. You're going to get something that is beautiful, well put together, right? You're going to get a gift, okay? But you have to wait. That's kind of like what I'm getting. It's like, I feel like another thing that with the paths is talking about is just that regardless of which direction you go, like if you feel like, oh, well, I want to make sure that I'm making all of the decisions necessary to put myself in the way of getting this thing that I want, right? No matter what your decision is, it's like it's going to happen either way. So don't worry so much about how you get there. Just understand that's where you're going, okay? I hope that makes sense. This feels like a really balanced week, which is good. It is good. Understand that one other thing, and when I say balanced, I want to say emotionally balanced, and also like your ideas are clear too. Okay, so that's important. Another thing with the moon, when it comes up, sometimes it lets us know that, to pay attention to our dreams, pay attention to things that happen at night, especially if you're in observation mode. Understand that might be something else to kind of clue in on. Okay, I hope you liked your reading, regardless of what the cards say. I hope that you have a good week. Thank you so much for watching. Hi, those of you who picked the pink butterfly, here is your reading, Material and Spiritual Prosperity. Okay, so we've got the 6 of Cups, the 9 of Cups, and the 10 of Pentacles. We've got the ship, and we've got the anchor. Interesting. Connect with your soul family. Okay, right now is really a good time to seek out your tribe or your kindreds. Okay, understand, there's the family that we're born with, there's the biological family we're all born with, and then there's these people in our lives that mean something to us on a spiritual level, and you just vibe well together. You guys probably feel like there's some kind of soul connection there, regardless of gender and regardless of sexuality, that kind of stuff. I'm getting that you are going to right now want to be speaking out and interacting with your soul family, basically with kindred spirits, with people who are on the same level as you, on a spiritual level. Okay. Keep that in mind. I do have a Discord server that I've been posting to the channel. It will be in the description. So that might be a place to seek out people. If you don't have this kind of family, if you're lacking that right now, understand that might be a place to go to look for. But I feel like, even though this is the advice card, I feel like this is kind of like the foundation that everything else comes from. I feel like you're going to be going into this week thinking that you're going to be doing a lot of work when it comes to emotions, okay? And it's like there's something that you're just about, it's almost like you feel like you're just about to figure it out, and I feel like you will, okay? But it's almost like as soon as you start to figure it out, you're going to get really busy and you're going to kind of walk away from it. And it's like, I think that that's exactly what you need to do. It's kind of like if you're playing like a jigsaw puzzle and you've been staring at it for, 10 minutes and you still haven't found a puzzle piece, and then you walk away from it and you come back like 15 minutes later and all of a sudden you are able to find like 5 or 6 pieces of where they go in a row. It's kind of like that. It's almost like you're concentrating too hard on getting this to make sense, that walking away is exactly what you're supposed to do, and then you'll be coming back and you'll be able to figure it out. Okay, so just know that there's going to be a little bit of a delay there, but it's going to be self-imposed and you're going to be happy about that. So no worries there. So when things start getting a little hectic and demanding of your time, understand that it's okay to leave that. Okay, I feel like some of you might get kind of frustrated and upset about having to leave that. And that could cause undue anxiety, given that that's going to work itself out. I would say, easier said than done, but don't worry about it, because where your focus is right now is on, unfortunately, I can't tell you exactly because this is a public reading and I'm not getting details. I was expecting to, but I'm not. But the kind of focus that I'm getting is that it's just going to be like, you're going to just be really like kept busy. Okay. This feels like busy work. It might even feel kind of like tedium, like repetitive work that you just have to do over and over and over again, that kind of thing. For some of you, it might just feel like you kind of overbooked yourself this week, that kind of thing. But understand that however much energy you put into this, yeah, for all of you guys, no matter how much energy you end up putting in to whatever these distractions are, whatever is like demanding your time, you're going to get that back, and you're going to end up becoming very, very prosperous for the amount of energy that you put in. Okay, so when you are approaching these distractions, try not to see them so much as interruptions or irritations or these little things that maybe need band-aid solutions. You know, make sure that you're giving them your full focus, because I feel like the universe is kind of trying to push you towards this other area of your life, but it's almost like a test. I mean, I don't really think that the universe tests us like this, you know, at least not the way that it might sound like. I don't feel like it's a trick. That's what I mean. But it's almost like, you know, how much energy are you going to put into this? Because whatever it is you're getting distracted with is going to end up coming back so much. Okay, so that's good. So we've got something that you're longing for. Okay, this is something, or it's something that's taking a long time, but I really feel like it's something that you're longing for. It's a wish. And I actually don't think it has to do with whatever this emotional thing is that you're trying to resolve. It's something completely different. It's probably been a while for this longing. Understand that you are either going to feel settled enough right now. Again, this is like, it's the same with this card. You're going to feel settled enough to just kind of put down the anchor there and let this ship kind of like rest for a little while, okay? And just let that stillness be, okay? And then with the knowledge and the acceptance, this is going to just come at the time that it's appropriate to. Either that's going to happen, or you're going to find stability through something else other than what you're longing for, okay? For those of you who have to put this in rest, and some of you, it's going to be both, okay? Some of you, it's like whatever you've been longing for, maybe you're going to release that, or maybe you're going to reach a point where it's like, I don't want to put more energy into that, because it's like, I've been trying really hard, and it shouldn't be forced, that kind of thing. And so it's like, let's put a pause on that. And it's like, that's when the ship is going to end up starting to kind of run away with itself, okay? So I'm getting a lot of imagery with this Lenormand, rather than kind of like the very, almost like box-like, you know, structure that Lenormand typically is. You know, they're like hieroglyphics, you know, they mean certain things, and that's it. But what I'm getting is that this is a very fluid situation. It's like this ship is representing something you're longing for, that you're going to you're going to put on pause. You're happy to put that on pause again, just like this, but I don't think that they're related. But you're going to put it on pause, and then, you know, you're going to hang out with your soul family, and then you're going to come back, and it's like, oh wow, this is moved forward so many more times, you know. So just kind of keep that in mind. You know, the material and spiritual prosperity, I think, is a really great focus card as well for you. If you don't use the Connect with Your Soul Family card as your focus card, please focus on this material and spiritual prosperity, because again, it's like the universe is distracting you from your cares. Not because these things aren't important, but because it's just not the right time, okay? And this distraction is going to end up bringing so much more prosperity to you, okay? So it might be a little bit of a frustrating week, based on what we're getting here, but it will end up being positive, okay? And you will be getting a lot of things done, okay? So just kind of keep that in mind. And I mean, I could see if I was going into this week and I didn't know that I was supposed to be focusing on this other stuff, I think I would be I would be hung up with this, you know, like, when's this thing gonna happen? I need to work on this, you know, and it's like, and everything's getting in my way, and I probably would not have learned the lessons because I would be too distracted with this. Just know you're supposed to be distracted from it, so that's where your focus is supposed to be. Regardless of what the cards say, I hope you have a wonderful week. It looks like you're gonna be getting a lot done, and remember, it's gonna come back. So, you know, you're gonna be enjoying that prosperity later on, okay? And thank you so much for watching my video. I will see you on my next reading. Hi, those of you who picked the white butterfly, here is your reading. Okay, so we have sacrifice. Okay, we have we've got two fours. We've got the Four of Swords and we've got the Four of Coins or Pentacles. And then we have the Sun. How interesting is that? Okay, and then we have the Book and the Clouds. And then we have Tell the Truth. Okay, so we have a lot of different things here. How interesting this is. This week is a time to slow down. That's what it is. The sacrifice is like, it's almost like the world's telling you you're taking on too much. You've got to balance out. You've got to, if this week feels like nothing's really happening, that's okay. That's the way it's supposed to be. You need to rest. You need this rest and relaxation. It's almost like your thoughts need to develop a little bit. It's okay if you have kind of cloudy thinking right now with the clouds here. It's okay. Don't worry about that. It's like everything's going to settle, and you'll be able to see so much more clearly. You've just got to wait for the dust to settle, and sometimes that can be frustrating, but know that you're doing a lot of work, especially when you're dreaming, okay? Especially when you're sleeping. It's like all of those ideas inside of you are working themselves out, okay? You're going to be feeling... it's like you feel like you don't have enough this week. It's like you don't feel like you have enough energy. You don't feel like you have enough attention. You don't feel like you have enough people. You don't feel like you have enough alone time. It's almost like everything's going to be feeling a little bit scarce for you. That's a little bit of an irony in your week, given that one of your focus cards is sacrifice. This would also be temperance in a traditional deck, but it's not temperance, it's sacrifice, right? But understand that even though it feels like you don't have enough, by the end of the week, you're going to be so happy. It's like things are going to just fall into place. And it's almost like your lesson is to know that all you have to do is sometimes non-action is an action, and that's the right action, okay? I hope that makes sense. Sometimes doing nothing is the thing that you're supposed to do. When you're looking around at everything, you're like, oh my gosh, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. Sometimes what you're supposed to do is nothing. And I feel like that's what this week is about, is teaching you that doing nothing is okay, because everything's going to turn out good, all right? So with the Book and the Clouds, I do want to read these together for you, because that's more important. Just know that you're going to be taking in a lot of information, whether you are aware of it or not. You might literally feel like reading a book. For some of you, you guys might be trying to learn a new instrument or maybe a new song or something like that. But I don't feel like this is as literal sometimes can be. I feel like it's just things are opening up to you and you are having access to more information. Like if like I talked about that scarcity, that scarcity consciousness, it's like one thing you're going to have a lot of is ideas, okay? But unfortunately, the ideas are going to be kind of cloudy. It's like you have the information, but it's like you can't make sense of it. It's almost like you've downloaded all of this information, but it's in the wrong language. And so you've got to kind of sit on it so that it can turn from knowledge to understanding, if that makes sense. And I feel like that this week is going to be feeling kind of like, I mean, it's almost like heavy and sluggish, but that's okay. That's what it's supposed to do. It's supposed to feel like that. Understand the scarcity consciousness right here. It's all in your mind. You actually do have a lot. It's just you don't have a lot of what you've been hoping to get, okay? So this week might feel a little disappointing for, especially the first 5 days or so. But by the end of it, again, you are going to be so happy, okay? There's just something is going to bring you so much joy. And it's great, okay? So with this sacrificing, know that either there's something you need to give up this week, and it's just for this week. I don't feel like this is something that you have to give up forever or anything like that. It's just something you have to give up this week. And it might be forced on you. It might just be like, maybe you were wanting to do something and it becomes impossible to do it. Maybe somebody cancels or something like that. But everything's going to turn out okay in the end. Here's your advice. Tell the truth. And I feel like the truth for you this week is not going to necessarily be about, yes and no, or fact and non-fact, right? I feel like the truth this week is going to be, it's okay to say that you don't know. It's okay to say, I'm still confused about that, or I need more clarity before I get there. I feel like for you, telling the truth this week is about admitting when you're not certain. And I think sometimes people can feel really uncomfortable with the idea that maybe they think that people are relying on them, or they think that people need for them to give them some kind of information. But really, all that person really needs to know is whether or not you know or not. And sometimes you don't. And it's okay to tell people that you don't know, right? It's okay if somebody's saying, hey, have you made that decision? It's okay to be like, what? I really still need more time to sit on it. I'm not completely clear in one area, that kind of thing. People will understand. I don't feel like this is so much about you being a dishonest person, or them, them reminding you, hey, be honest, that kind of stuff. Because I feel like you're not going to necessarily feel like not being honest. I feel like it's more like you're going to be nervous that not knowing or being kind of confused might let people down. It's not letting anybody down, okay? It's not. Sometimes people will ask you if you understand something, to find out, well, do they understand? Because if they don't, then I need to explain better, that kind of stuff. Okay, so just really keep that in mind. Of course, it also means, be honest with how you present yourself, be intellectually honest, be emotionally honest, and all of that. I mean, that's the obvious message of this card, but I really feel like, in context with the rest of these cards, it's really also saying, be honest about what you don't know. Be honest with uncertainty. Okay. I understand this doesn't have a lot of positive energy in it this week, but really the sun is like outshining everything else. No matter what this week's going to be like, according to the cards, right? The sun is coming here saying, everything's going to turn out just fine. It's almost like trusting the process. Okay. So, regardless of what the cards say, I hope you have a wonderful week. And thank you so much for watching. And I will see you in the next reading. Hi, those of you who picked the blue butterfly, here is your reading. So we have firm foundation. We have got very earthy energy here. Okay, we have the 6 of coins. We've more earth energy. We've got the 8 of coins, pentacles. All right, discs. Some people call it discs. And then we have the 7 of swords here. We've got the coffin followed by the sun. Okay, and then we have love your body. All right. Celebrate you. Celebrate yourself. You don't give yourself enough credit. I feel like this is a really important lesson for you right now. It's just such a gift to the world for you to be who you are. And if it feels like maybe you're not enough, or that, maybe the world's not really made for a person like you, and all of that kind of stuff, just understand you're here so you can bring your own unique energy to the world. And we need you. We need you to be who you are, because we need that energy. If it feels like you're not belonging, or that you're, kind of like you're just feeling a little odd, or whatever, whatever is unique about yourself, whatever it is that you're being hard on yourself about, that's what we need right now. So really, love your body, and again, it's not just your physical body. We're talking about just love you, love who you are, love what you embody as well. Okay, it's firm foundation. We're talking about making sure that go over just different areas in your life this week. Right now, it's just a time to kind of, go around to each area and adjust wherever needs adjusting. Okay. So it's like, you've just got to tweak, what's going on in all areas of your life. And if it's like, well, I don't know which areas, and all of that, we're talking about family, friends, love, career or vocation, or, our hobbies, maybe spirituality. It's just look at everything. It's like, what's working, what's not working, and figure out a way of solving whatever isn't working. So you have that really firm foundation so that you can build the best friendships, the best family, the best love, the best vocation, the best hobbies, the best spirituality for yourself. Okay, so that's what this card's about. Everything else is more kind of like details. Okay, you're going to be feeling really you're going to be feeling like that flow of energy in between each, like yourself and another person. It's just really balanced. For example, it's like if you were to spend time with a friend, for example, your friend isn't going to be making you focus on just them, and you're not going to be making them focus on just you. It's just going to be this really nice flow of exchange of energy. And that's going to repeat on all levels. And it's not just the energy, like the amount of energy you're putting in is going to be the same as what another person puts in, but also like the amount of resources, the amount of, ideas, the creativity, that kind of stuff. If you want more, then go ahead and put more in and you'll get more back. Okay. People are going to really feel like mirroring you this week. I feel like this is kind of like a general feeling though, also. So, keep that in mind. You're going to be working hard this week. That's okay. I don't feel like you're overworking. And you're going to be having some fun here, making a little mischief, nothing like illegal or anything, hopefully. But I just kind of feel like you're going to have some fun this week as well. Again, like maybe playing a little prank or just, I don't know. It feels so lighthearted. It doesn't feel like this horrible betrayal or anything like that. It feels really, really lighthearted. So I feel like this card is coming up just kind of being like, you're working hard, and all of that. And it's like, you're also playing hard. Or maybe you're just playing enough, right? And but it's not malicious, okay? Of course, please don't cause suffering if you can help it. But, I feel like there's this very lighthearted energy, especially at the end of the week, okay? So kind of keep that in mind. Something is going to end this week, but I feel like it's something that is a good ending, okay? Like something's going to end and you're going to be like, oh my gosh, I'm so glad. And here's what the sun does, which I just love in Lenormand, is all cards that are near the sun just get more positive. Okay, so just the sun showing up in any reading, and it doesn't matter if they're Lenormand cards or tarot cards or if they're a deck of cards or what. The cards around it just are so much more positive. So this is all positive and lighthearted. Working hard doesn't necessarily feel lighthearted sometimes, if we're not enjoying what we're doing, but I feel like it's okay. This is a productive time and it's good. Just remember that foundation. I think that this is something that might kind of slip your awareness this week. That's a really important thing for you to focus on. Okay. All right. So regardless of what the cards say, I hope you have a wonderful week. And thank you so much for watching. You can join me on Wednesday for another reading. Thank you. Hi, those of you who picked the red butterfly, here's your reading. Okay, so we have the truth. Nice. We have the three of wands. We have the king of wands, and we have the world. Wow. Okay. We have the child and the fish. That's great. And we have say yes. Okay. Well, it looks to me like most people are going to be having some great weeks this week because almost all of my readings have been very positive. You guys, looks like things are really coming about here. If you've been waiting for something, kind of almost like, oh, it feels kind of like that same energy of like, sometimes it can be sad to come back from a trip and like you see your pets, right? And your pets missed you so much. And it's like, oh my gosh, you know, they really wanted me to come back this whole time. It's like that. It's like, I feel like in this particular card, you're the pet. And it's like you've been waiting for this thing to come back, or you've been waiting for something to come full circle, something like that. It's going to happen, okay? It's going to happen this week. It's great. Just know that it's not in vain, but also know that even if you only have to wait for another like hour after you see this, make sure that you're focusing on doing other things and being productive in other areas, because waiting doesn't have to be just all you do. When we're waiting for something to happen, we can always do other things, you know, so that we can still enrich our lives and bring abundance to our lives just in other areas. But something's coming towards you, something's coming back to you that's going to be just, you know, it just feels like it's very wholesome. It's something that you've really wanted, you've really needed, and I feel like it brings a peace to your mind, okay? So whatever it is, whether you keep it or not, is kind of up in the air. It's more about this thing is coming back and you're going to be able to get some kind of resolve out of it. And I do feel like it's going to be kind of up to you whether or not you decide to keep it or not, you know? I just feel like it's almost like something that seemed like it was destined to have a bad ending is going to have a happy ending now. Okay. The King of Wands here, you know, one thing that I can say about this week that might feel a little not so great is that you are going to be feeling a little up and down when it comes to your mood. Just be aware of it. And that's really all I can really say about it, because it's like, you know, you can't really control this so much as you can say, okay, I know that my mood's going to be kind of up and down. So, you know, I might suddenly get really irritable, or I might suddenly get really, you know, upset or anxious, you know, but just as suddenly I can just calm down, and just as suddenly I will feel really joyous and everything. It kind of almost reminds me of pregnancy, what I observed in myself and what I've observed in other women. It just that kind of just influx of hormones. I'm not saying that your hormones are off, you know. Besides, I couldn't say that anyway, because I'm not a doctor. But I can say that it's just going to feel like a roller coaster when it comes to your emotions, especially your mood. And like, okay, so Cassie, what's the difference between emotions and moods, right? I mean, I guess it was kind of the same thing, but it's like emotions, like if you walk into a room, there's the ambience in that room, okay? And that's a mood, right? But all the different decorations, right? That's what emotions are, right? So it's like there's the specific emotions, but then there's just the general ambience, right? Or the general mood that you're going to be feeling, and it's just going to be fluctuating. And that's what I want to mention here, is that your moods are going to be kind of up and down. That's okay. I feel like this is only a reflection of how sensitive you are right now, okay? And this sensitivity is serving you. You are going to be so aligned with the truth right now. Like, people are not going to be able to lie to you without you knowing. You're not going to be doing any kind of self-denial. You know, it's like you've put that on the shelf for a week, okay? So right now you're real clear about what's what, okay? So that's great. You've got a lot of discernment this week. You've got a lot of perception. I feel like this is going to last longer than just the 7 days ahead. Typically I kind of get a stop, you know, but I feel like this is going to just continue on into next week, okay? So keep that in mind too. With the World, we have got you receiving something. This is just one part of it. You're receiving something that's going to really, like, oh my gosh, you're just going to feel so complete this week. So you're going to be really having fulfillment and that kind of stuff. And you know what? Sometimes the things that we want the most, or the things that make us the most joyous, are what, you know, can kind of fluctuate our moods like that, you know? I know that, for example, falling in love can make somebody's mood just go haywire, right? Because they're doing all sorts of weird stuff. They're like staying up all night wanting to talk to each other. They're like, why do they want to spend all this time with one another and all of this, it's like that, it's like your mood's going to be fluctuating, and it's going to feel kind of like that too. Okay. So keep that in mind. But the world is letting us know you are going to have just such a complete experience this week that's going to just really fill you up. The way that I would describe it is like reading a really, really good book. But when I say that, I don't mean just, for somebody like me who reads like 50 or 60 books a year, I'm not saying like the 1 or 2 good books that you read each year. I'm talking about the 1 or 2 good books you read in a lifetime, right? The 5 or 10 that are on your favorites list, right? That's what I'm talking about. You're just going to have such a beautiful experience this week. It feels like some of you might even have some really major experiences this week. Major experience might be like the birth of a child, or maybe like a wedding or something like that. I'm not necessarily saying that that's what your thing is. I'm just saying that those are examples of the kinds of fulfillment you're going to be feeling, okay? So we've got the child and we've got the fish, which is really interesting. We've got something new, bringing a lot of abundance. Okay, it really does feel like this, the story that this tells, right? You've got something coming back. It feels new again, right? It's completed a cycle and it's coming back. You've got your emotions just kind of kicked up a little bit because you're sensitive, right? And then it's like all of this abundance. You just have all this wonderful thing. So we've got the Lenormand echoing exactly what this is saying. Again, you're going to be really perfectly aligned with truth. And this final card is say yes. Any opportunity that you get this week. And I do have to put a caveat. I mean, obviously, if you don't say yes to something that's going to hurt you, okay, or something that's illegal, or, that's not what I'm saying. But just say yes to, just say yes to almost anything this week, that feels, that you trust and feels okay. Because it's almost like however this is going to come about might be a little unexpected. I don't think it's going to be unexpected that it's going to happen, because it's like you've been waiting for it, so but it's just how it's going to come back, or how it's going to come about is going to be a little bit different from what you might be expecting at this point. Okay. All right. So, regardless of what the cards say, I hope you have a wonderful week. I hope you have this week, because it just feels so good. And thank you so much for watching, and I will see you on Wednesday with our next pick a card reading. So again, thank you guys. We don't have any news for the day, other than I am going to be doing a weekly general love reading from now on every Friday. All right, guys, I'll see you later.